everyone, and good morning. I hope that you're doing well. Today, we are lucky to be together again to do some more practice. It's very important for us to acknowledge the special nature of practice because it says that once one develops a proper mindset, it starts to go internal. So, start from the gross to the subtle. Uh, that one enjoys because again we're developing more sattvic or more light, more positive aspects of our nature, of the three gunas, which is directing us more inward. And in doing that, one starts to find joy in practice and look forward to practice. I hope that you're experiencing that. um, Again, today we're going to talk about the right attitude, um, because it's very important that we adjust and move forward towards our goal. And that's why it's very essential to have a goal in our meditation, in our practice. Um, just sitting without a goal is you can gain some benefit, of course, from concentration, but it's very important to think that there's a more loftier goal because, again, we're going deeper and deeper and deeper to understanding our true nature. Okay? And we're what they call Naroda, the Naroda, the things, like negative things. We smooth them out. We balance them out. We take them out. We look at them. And all of this allows us through our buddhi, which is our intellect, um, to be able to distinguish, to discriminate between what is proper and what is not, leading us closer towards our attainment and goal of samadhi. Okay? So let's go ahead and stretch for a moment. Again, as we sleep, especially deep sleep, even though our mind is sleeping, we're technically not doing anything. Our body is in a state of non-movement, which is very tamasic. So therefore, it becomes almost like wood if you think about it. So let's put the shoulders backwards, shoulders forward. Let's do our neck. And again, it's important that you're following up these practices with some sort of yoga. I had taught people many different options for practice. Many people are kind of confused when it comes to the idea of these asana. And we'll talk a little bit more about that today. Make sure you're moving your spine and your neck, letting it naturally roll. You can go a little slower. Good. Let's tighten our shoulders. Release. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, this term asana means seat. It also means like this posture. Most people think about yogic postures. And what is the point of that? Because actually, in the teaching of yoga, there's only a small mention of it in 3 passages. However, all of them have to do with the concept of meditation. Why it became one of the 8 limbs of yoga, and this kind of progressive system towards our goal of samadhi, is that it allows us to have a proper seat, a stable, proper seat, in which simply our spine is erect, right? Our shoulders are under our ears, our neck is up, extending up and down at the same time, etc. And this is actually very important because we try to, if we do not have the flexibility, a lot of times in the West, people do not have the correct flexibility in the waist, and the lower part of their body is quite weak, especially with our modern society as well, with sitting at computers, etc. So the kind of yoga that you see, which is either hatha, many kinds, postural yoga on the high streets and main streets of the world. Um, this is one small aspect, and actually, the purpose is to allow the body to prepare the body simply for meditation, to sit properly, upright. So therefore, it's very important that we strengthen our body as well. As we're looking, not only we need to do the kind of moralistic practice, that without this kind of precept, discipline, how we deal with others in the world outside, and then how we deal and regulate our inside with the niyama, the regulations. It's very difficult to sit, okay? That is the basic. And then actually sitting with the posture is also very difficult if one does not have a flexible body. That if one has lots of issues or sicknesses or weaknesses in the body, it makes it very difficult to practice. Not only sitting, but also when we're chanting or when we're walking, etc. So um, putting our body in the correct posture is one of the most essential aspects of any type of meditation, not just sitting meditation. Okay, and again, all of these are towards one specific goal. So the goal isn't necessarily to look good, but again, that is a result. Having flexibility, even as you get older, is one of the things that are key components that are constantly lost because people have basically become so um, sedentary throughout their entire life. They've just been sitting and not doing much, that their bodies become soft, and then also they start to damage their joints because of weight and non-uses, etc. So it's very important, not only for our practice but for our health, that we establish this. So in the future, I'd like to share some more with that. Now let us get our posture involved so we can move left or right. Good. Find our center. And then when we're sitting in meditation, he says, sit, and the Master Chantai says, sit as a stone anchor. So that means there's a little bit of natural gravitational movement, but not any movement. We want to still the body as much as possible, just as when we enter into pratyahara, where we close off the senses, right? We concentrate on our specific goal, our mantra, right? We're focusing our mind rather than allowing it to do whatever it would like. And then after asana, we have the pranayama, where we purify our breath. Okay, so let's begin with that with a count of 3, 5, and 7. So we breathe in through our nose for 3, hold for 5, and exhale through 7. Let's begin with that. So breathe in, hold, and exhale. Round 2, breathe in, hold, and exhale. One more time. Hold and exhale. Now, as we begin, we put our hands together, Hokai Join, keeping it close to our body. Finding our center, we can move left or right slightly like pendulum, and then forward to backwards. Good. And then we're going to close our mouth, teeth above front row with our tongue, ears over the shoulders, chin tucked in, eyes gently closed enough to keep the light out. At the sound of the bell, we begin concentrating as we exhale, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, as we inhale, simply observing. Let us release our tension. Relax the body. Let us do one more purifying breath. So breathing in through the nose, holding for 5 and exhaling. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. And then let us sit here and simply observe the state of our mind, our breathing, our body, just observing, not judging. Just attention and mindfulness, taking it all in. Come back to our body. Let's start to move our fingers, our toes, our body gently, rubbing our hands together. Thank you very much for the last few minutes that we have. Let us just talk about right attitude. To succeed in our practice, we need to approach the practice in a relaxed manner, free from judgment and expectations. That's usually one of the things that kills most practices, especially as we don't realize, in a way, have compassion for ourselves as being human. And that actually there is not any negative, just our goal is to go inside. So there are some obstacles that we need to move through. Although we may start out this way, we can quickly slip into a critical, striving attitude when faced with problems such as mind wandering, sleepiness, and impatience. So usually the one thing that most people tell me is that they cannot practice this Dhyana meditation because their mind is too uh, bubbly, too wild. But actually, be okay with that. Sit with that. Observe that. In some sutras, it actually says that just simply allow the mind to go wild when you're sitting, and that naturally some part of this Buddha nature starts to bring it in. Also, there is many examples. There is a great pictograph collection called the Ox Herding Pictures of Zen Buddhism, and this is a similar idea of the different stages of becoming one or realizing one's original nature. Because again, we want to see what is behind that nature. What is really seeing? Who is the real seer? What is the I? Is there an I? Those are kind of questions. This attitude becomes the greatest impediment to our continued progress. When words like struggle or difficult come to mind, or if you feel like you're trying really hard but not making any progress, you'll know it's time to examine your attitude. So again, looking at the, how do you say, the samskaras, as they were talking about, these kind of imprints in our mind, perhaps from our childhood, subconsciously, we may have these negative attitudes about ourselves. And that this is the opportunity to work through and change those, as we spoke about yesterday, flipping them on themselves to making these kind of positive imprints as a beginning. And also this idea of klesha. Klesha are these impediments to practice. That is when the samskara are manifested through causes and conditions. And there's a concept of aklesha. A is a kind of negation in Sanskrit. So aklesha means turning them on their head, that if we have this negative aspect of ourselves that comes up, that we can change it into a sattvic or positive aspect, such as allowing to be patient with oneself, not to be despondent about one's body or mind, etc. and that we can change that poison into medicine, which is what the sutras always talk about. So that starts with our attitude, and our perception, because this will constantly come up as one progresses, because this again is not easy, but yet again it's natural. The not easy part is that we are dealing with these imprints on our minds, these obstructions. However, um, it's important that we work through these things. So if we are always trying, it's the new year and everyone is trying to improve something, this is the true way to improve it, um, by going to the source. Many people, as they spoke about as a kind of metaphor in Buddhism, the poisonous tree, then most people try to simply chop off one branch. But as we cut off this branch, as you may feel like in your life, I fix this, I focus on this, but this other branch is growing. But as it says, we have to go to the root of our mind in order to find the true relief. And I believe that is the reason why we're all here. So thank you very much. May you have a wonderful and enlightened and peaceful day. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.